What if I told you you don't actually have to be talented to be on TV? Hey guys, if you're brand new to my channel, hello, my name is Jordan Sparks, and I have been working in television and film for 15 years, and I have been working in theater, television, film, and doing radio commercials for over 20 years now. So I wanted today to talk to you guys a bit about all of the different ways that you can be on TV, whether it is that you are actually interested in doing this yourself or you just have some kind of piqued curiosity about how people get started in show business and entertainment industry, then this video is probably a good one for you. So I personally have worked in theater. Like I said, I've done chorus and I've done lead roles. I've led the show. I've been a singer, a dancer, an actor in theater. I've done radio commercials since I was about 12 years old, I think, was my first radio commercial. And I have auditioned for all different kinds of projects, and I have worked in film and television, both as a scripted actor and as a professional dancer, and as well as in the background singing, dancing, and just being typical background. So I have covered a lot of different genres in my life, and that is not even including like print media and modeling. And so I've got a bit of experience in all of those different avenues. So whether you want to be on TV or not, hopefully this video is interesting to you. But if you do want to be on TV and you're just somebody that's gung-ho about being on TV, it's not so much about that you seriously want to be an actor or you seriously want to be a singer or whatever it is. There's so many different opportunities to get on TV, and even as an average person with zero talent, there are still opportunities for you, if that describes you, to be on TV. Now, of course, there's plenty of opportunity on television for people that do have skill sets and talent, and there's plenty of opportunities on TV for people that are just good looking. But let's hop into it. So when I say that you don't need to have talent to be on television, I really truly mean that. There are so many different avenues where you can be an entertainer or just be on television without having any talent. And so whether you want to be a performer and you want to be the lead character on TV or not, you could get started in these kind of opportunities. So the first one that I want to talk about is background. So if you want to be a background actor or an extra, they are called in some places, I would pay attention to this part. So essentially a background actor or an extra is somebody that is in film or TV, and they basically play every single role, every single person that you're seeing on TV, whether you can see their face or they're way in the background. If you're seeing somebody that is on TV and they don't have any lines, they are probably a background actor or an extra. So this could be the people that are in the background at the cafe in a scene that are just drinking their coffee and with their baby in the stroller. These are all paid performers. Whether you're just seeing a giant crowd of people even walking downtown in like Manhattan in New York, if you're seeing that, and you've ever wondered, like, are these people that are just walking by? Nope. Every single one of those people, even in these scenes with hundreds of people, is all a paid performer. They are background actors and entertainers. And this is a skill that you can have, or a job that you can have without any talent, and it's paid. There are other opportunities for you to get on TV if you just want the exposure or just think it's cool to be on TV where they aren't paid. But to be a background actor or an extra, it's actually a paid opportunity, and it can make pretty good money. So as a background actor or an extra, you can also become in the union that is the same union that professional actors are in, whether they have a couple lines or they're like a Johnny Depp, a Clint Eastwood, Jane Fonda, Meryl Streep. They're all part of these same unions, and that is SAG-AFTRA in the United States or ACTRA here in Canada. And I'm personally part of that union, so whenever I do background, whenever I do any extra work, not only am I getting paid, but I'm also being protected by my union, and I'm getting paid a very good wage to be in the background. And quite honestly, to just be a regular background performer, all you need to be able to do is listen closely-ish and to do what you're told. So I wouldn't say that that takes a lot of talent, but just walking in the background, you'll have an opportunity to walk in the background, be paid for it. You're not doing any skills. You don't have to memorize any lines. There's no choreography. There's nothing like that. Just walk from point A to point B. And that is a perfect opportunity for you to be on television and to be paid and to not have any talent. But honestly, there are so many different avenues where you can be on TV without any talent. And another one of those avenues would be reality television. Now, reality television, you don't need to be in the union to join, to be a background actor, or you don't need to be in the union to be a background actor. You can definitely get started non-union. And if that is something that you guys are interested in, if you're watching this video and you're wondering, how do I become a background actor? I could definitely cover that in another video for you guys and go way more in depth, because I've been doing background work myself for over 10 years. And it was a little bit intimidating to get into at first, but as long as you have somebody to guide you through the different steps to go onto your first set and like kind of let you know what it's going to be like, it'll dissolve so much of those nerves. And after you've been on set one day, it's not really that different from one set to another. A lot of the life of being a background actor or an extra is pretty similar from one set to another, whether it's union or not, whether it's on like a small television show or a small union project to like giant high budget projects. It's usually all typically about the same thing. So if you want me to go more in depth on that, I can definitely do a video on that as well. But let's hop into reality television. And oh my goodness, you guys, it is boiling hot here in Toronto, especially trying to film in my black vehicle, because I went outside because it was a gorgeous day today and the temperatures finally dropped from like 36 degrees Celsius or like 110 Fahrenheit to a more reasonable temperature, but the wind is gusting so hard today that I couldn't film while I was out for a walk because the wind interferes with the audio way too much. So right now I am literally baking in my black vehicle, which is like a sauna, sitting in the driveway. So good fun. So if you want to be on reality television, you don't even necessarily need an agent. You don't need a background agent. A lot of the time you can actually apply directly to be on reality television through like an email ad or an ad that you saw on Facebook. And I'm not saying, disclaimer here now, I am not saying that every ad that you see on Facebook that's like, come be on a television show, is legit, because honestly, most of that is scams. Most of the time, if you're seeing a paid advertisement on Facebook and it's like, here's one to call out that I like say all the time, do you want to be on the next like reboot of Dexter? I'm like, scam. So there's tons of different scams out there, but in order to be on reality television, a lot of the time they do direct castings just like straight from the network. So if you've watched Big Brother or something like that, or you've watched American Idol and it says to apply if you want to be on the next season of American Idol, go to this website. They're being legit. You can actually go to that website and you can usually apply right on their website to be part of the next season. A lot of the time you have to be a resident of the country in which the show films. So for example, American Idol, typically they want you to be American because there is or was a Canadian Idol and there's different versions for each jurisdiction. So they want you to be a resident of that country. But aside from that, you have the option to submit your demo tapes, submit whatever casting is asked for that reality television show, and you could be on it. Now, of course, some reality television shows, like I mentioned, American Idol, or like So You Think You Can Dance, or Dancing with the Stars, definitely requires some talent. You're not going to go on Dancing with the Stars as a dancer and not have talent. You have to be a professional dancer, and to be one of the contestants, you're going to have to be famous in some way. So that's probably not for you watching, but it could be. If you're famous and watching my channel, I doubt it, but like, it could be. And then if you want to be a contestant on something where it doesn't take any skills, you definitely can. You can be a reality show contestant just based off of your personality alone, based off of your looks. Like, say you're a hot, jacked guy with a six-pack, a big chest, and you're covered in tattoos, and you're like under 25. There are so many different dating shows that would love to have you just because of your look. If you are a girl that is like fitting the American beauty standard right now, you're absolutely gorgeous and stunning, you could be on television without having any talent, just your looks alone. Or a lot of the time it's something controversial that gets you on a reality television show, like you've included that you are somebody that can't stop fighting with everyone. That might get you on a television show alone, or if you're somebody that has really, really strong political beliefs, such as you're an activist of some kind, or you're a diehard Trump supporter, or even something so politically polarizing as being transgender alone might get you on a television show. Even a couple years ago, maybe even still today, you could get on a reality television show just for being gay, because that's going to be controversial amongst the people that are on that television show, and it's probably going to cause some interesting conversations, perhaps some conflict. And so that's really kind of all they're looking for when they're casting a reality show. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need to have any talent. Now, of course, even American Idol, honestly. You can get on American Idol, you can get on TV without having any talent. Or you could have an anti-talent. Like, you perform intentionally so bad that you get on TV and you're featured in the auditions. Like, that happens. We've all watched American Idol. We all know it's not just the absolute best singers that get their time on TV. And in fact, 99% of the singers that go into shows like American Idol, they're super duper talented, and they don't ever get any airtime because their audition wasn't something that's going to be polarizing to put on television. So yeah, there's lots of people that go on American Idol that can't sing at all, and they're the ones that end up being featured. So you never really know. But those are the first two: being a background extra, being in reality television. But another way that you could be cast on a television show, or you could be on TV and film without having any talent, is just being on the news. A lot of the time there are people that get interviewed to be on the news. I know it's not that exciting and you don't have as much control over this one, but you can write in if you are somebody that is a type A personality and you're willing to do the work to get on to like a talk show even, or like on the news for a segment. You can write in if there's something that you have experience with, or there's something you're going through, or you're just an interesting person that could be used to talk about on a local television show or the local news or anything like that. You can write in and you could have a spot on the news without any talent. A lot of the time, guests on talk shows, for example, they're on TV, they don't have any talent, they just have something relatable to that episode. So if you've ever been watching a talk show on TV and it says, "Have you ever been in a relationship where you think that the dad is not the real dad of your child," or something? Write in to Jerry Springer. Things like that. So it's not a talent, it's something that makes you unique, that brings you onto a television show. But if you want to be on a television show and you don't have any talent, that is one way. Another way is campaigns, and campaigns that they put on television, say it's not necessarily a commercial, but it is through the government or to raise awareness or things like that, or even sometimes for an actual commercial. A lot of the time they will bring in somebody that is real to do a real testimonial, as opposed to somebody that is being hired to do a scripted role on a commercial. So one that comes to mind is if you've ever seen like milk commercials where they bring in a dairy farmer. That is a real dairy farmer that is on their commercial. They don't have any performing talent. You could argue that they are talented because it definitely takes a skill set to be a dairy farmer, but it's not a skill set that is required to be on television. So you could have an opportunity like that just because you have a unique job, like being a dairy farmer, which is critical to selling the brand of selling milk. So they, from Got Milk or the Dairy Association, would bring somebody like that onto their commercial, not to do a scripted line. They're not an actor, but that's their opportunity to be on television. So those are the best opportunities that I could think of that come to mind for all the different ways that you could be on television with absolutely no skill set and no talent. However, if you want to be a working professional and you want to actually make an income, whether it is just an income stream or make it your full-time income, your full-time job, being on television with no skill set at all is probably not the best thing to do, but you can. There are tons of people. I've met tons, hundreds, if not thousands of background performers that do background all the time. They have no interest in being an actor. They don't have any interest in doing any special skills. They don't want to be in the spotlight. They don't want to be seen. And they're not interested in investing their time into a skill set or talent to be seen on television. So yes, there are thousands of people out there. Those are just thousands that I've met personally that do background and are extras, and they've made it their full-time job, and they don't have any talent or skills for the film scene. Now, that being said, there's also tons of people that do background that have tons of skills. So that is something that will definitely increase your odds, your chances of being able to work in background, and your chances of being able to book enough work to make it your full-time job, is that every little skill set, whether it's something that you're just okay at, something that you're good at, great at, or you can even do it at a professional level, all of those different things are totally useful and might get you your next job or might book you tons of work, especially if it's something that's very unique to you, because they need all different kinds of skill sets and talents to do background work and to do featured work, whether it is on a TV show, a commercial, a film. And it could be anything from being comfortable to sit on a horse to being somebody that can do like tricks and backflips doing equestrian riding a horse, to somebody that is able to just do a step touch, to somebody that is able to do 6 pirouettes into an aerial. And so the skill sets really, really range, but having any kind of talent and any kind of skill set will definitely help you stand out when it comes to stuff like that, when they're looking for more specific stuff than somebody just walking 100 feet in the background. So if you have absolutely no skills at all, you can definitely be the New York pedestrian that is walking down the street. Anybody can do it. The only catch is that a lot of the time when you're watching TV, you look in the background and you think, oh, everybody looks totally average. And that's what they want you to think. But I have noticed there's definitely a pattern in film and television that the background people don't necessarily represent an actual demographic, pardon, of people. And that's because if I look around when I'm on a film set, sure, I feel average. When I look around, there's people of all different ethnicities. There's people of different body types. But when I look around, there's not really that diverse of a difference in body types, because I feel like they don't want anyone in the background to draw any attention away from their lead actors. So you may have lead actors that are going against average body type. Maybe you're super thin, maybe you're super muscular, maybe you're overweight. Those are all things that are going to be not necessarily completely average in comparison to the background. Because if you go out anywhere in North America, anywhere in Canada, you go in public, you're going to see people of literally all different body types. You're going to see people of all different races. And of course, there are areas in like middle America and Canada that don't have as much diversity amongst different cultures and skin colors. However, you're going to see people of all different shapes and sizes, heights, weights, ages, and that's something that we don't always actually see in background. I see a lot of different situations where I'm hired to work background and we're just pedestrians walking around on the street. However, the amount of children on set is next to none. It'll be very bare minimal, which does that represent actually going outside in public on a New York street? Maybe not so much, because there's people out there with their kids, people visiting New York, there's people out there running their errands, there's moms that are out there walking with their kids, there's just kids on the street, and it makes up about the same average amount of kids as exists in real life. But when you're doing background, a lot of the time they don't want to hire a ton of kids because kids can only work so many hours, and there's just different technical things that there's maybe not going to be so many kids. There's maybe not going to be as many elderly people as actually exist in real life, and there's probably not going to be as many people that are overweight as exist in real life. And I would say that that's just the reality on most sets. So yes, you can be overweight, but you're not going to see a lot of obese people playing background. They will hire people of all different weights, but I would say that is one way that sets and casting do seem to discriminate a bit, is that when they're trying to create that average look, it's not truly representing average. It's like TV average. And I also think that that's why, have you ever heard that, like, the camera adds 10 pounds? Like, the camera especially adds 10 pounds when every other person in the room behind you is also thin. Like, I don't know. I feel like film sets and TV definitely skew to the very thin side of average as opposed to being true average. But anyways, that is enough rambling about type and about background and extras. If you found this video useful or helpful or informative or insightful, definitely give it a thumbs up and let me know down in the comments what you would like me to talk about next. I'm not really expecting these videos to get a ton of views just because the production quality is not that high. I'm literally out here filming in a vehicle, and I don't think there's that many people that are actually interested in working as a background extra that are here on YouTube looking for this content or going to be suggested this content. But if there is, the algorithms are pretty good these days that this video will probably find you. Anyways, let me know what you'd like me to talk about next. I have worked, like I said, as a professional actor. I've worked as on stage in musicals as the lead, singing and dancing. I don't think that I am the best singer in the world. I don't think that I am really at that kind of professional level of vocals anymore, but I can talk experience about that and what it's like to audition for films, professional theater, and Broadway as a singer, a dancer, an actor. I have worked as a professional dancer, both in non-union projects, theater, and film. So if you have any questions about that, I can definitely talk about that. There's also me talking ad nauseum on my channel about dance and the dance industry and dance technique. So if that interests you, there's thousands of videos already on my channel about that content. If you'd like me to talk about how to get an agent, how to book your first role that is scripted, how to be in commercials, how to be on television and film, like episodics and like Netflix shows, and all of that more exciting stuff, and the logistics of the industry, like how much an agent takes of your income. What does a manager do? What's the difference between an agent and a manager? What is a casting agent? A casting agent is not a real thing, but people comment that on my channel frequently. There's agents, there's casting directors, but an agent doesn't do any casting. That's not their job. Their job is to put you in front of casting. But anyways, I'm sweating to death, so I'm going to end this video here. And like I said, you got any questions, leave them down in the comments below, and I will probably make another quick, low production video like this in response to that. And I've got to go check out some new casting breakdowns myself and submit some more work for tomorrow. So that'll be it for me. Make sure to be weird, be wild, and stay sparkly. If you want to be on television, you can definitely do it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.